How are you, dude?
Dude, I'm pretty great, man. I'm pretty great. I woke up today, so that's a W right there. I'm gonna start work here in a bit after this call, so I'm pretty excited. I got some energy for the night. I switched to night shifts for a couple months,
Oh,
been
nice.
doing that. Yep, yep,
What
yep,
time
yep.
is
So
it? What time is it where you are right now?
it's 5:30 p.m.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. Oh
Complete
yeah,
opposite side of the world. That's right.
definitely, dude. So I'm good. How you been doing, man?
Very good, dude. Very,
Yeah.
very good. I was actually really excited for this call because, as you would have seen, Mickey's call that went
Hmm.
really that went really well, and I got a lot of feedback from a lot of clients saying like that was really good, and like I needed to hear all of what he said because other people are going through exactly what he was like talking about. Um,
100%.
so yeah, dude, I was like really excited to do this with you. Um, I guess the way that I want to go about this is kind of like start with a bit of a reflection, kind of like identify where you were and like where we got you to. So, um, where did you start again? Where did you start in terms of like body weight?
Body weight wise, I started like at 76.6 kg, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about there. So I was pretty heavy for my size. I'm only 5'6". That's where I started at. I ended up getting to a low of 62 kg, basically, and that was my lowest that I weighed in at.
That is
Yeah, dude.
unbelievable, dude.
Yeah,
That
you
is,
telling me?
yeah. And so like what I want to know is like from a I guess a mental aspect because you've done really really well like the entire process. Like you've been one of the people that have just like continuously showed up, put in the work, done what was required. And I from memory like we saw massive weight shift early on, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's how it goes usually, right? When you have so much body fat to lose, it tends to drop pretty quick in the beginning, and it did. So that was great to see. It was a good morale booster in the very beginning when you're still trying to figure this whole process out.
Mm.
And only towards like the middle end does it start to kind of like plateau and the weight doesn't drop as much, and you start second guessing things and things like that. But sure enough, if you just stick with the process, it will work out. Just takes some
Yeah,
time, definitely.
absolutely, dude. And so what I want to know as well is like so some of the questions that I asked Mickey, and I think they were really valuable, was like, what was the most, or what do you believe throughout the process was the most challenging for you? Because I think everyone might be a little bit different in this area. What was
Right.
your most challenging aspect?
Let's see. I'd say there was a couple of things that were really challenging to me. One of the biggest challenges that I had to face and to adapt to was kind of having like a perspective change on how I viewed myself. I
Mm,
had a lot of old habits that got me to the point where I was significantly overweight, out of shape, and I had to change these habits. I had to change the way I looked at myself. Like for example, I mean everybody loves food, right? I love food. So I used to just wake up in the morning and just go grab McDonald's and slam a potentially 1,000 calorie breakfast down with not so great protein, and I loved
yeah,
it. And that was just my breakfast. You better believe I was going in for lunch and dinner as well, pizza, burgers, fries, whatever, whenever I wanted. Like, I had a lot of
yeah,
habits that would just self-indulge way too much without even realizing it. So I had to have a perspective change that this is not what I do anymore. I don't do that anymore. I'm driving by McDonald's. I'm not even gonna look at it. I don't need that. I don't want that because those habits just kind of they take you away further from your goals, for your fitness goals. So a lot of lifestyle changes like that. I adapted the whole parking far away to get more steps and always taking the stairs to be more active. So a lot of lifestyle style changes. It was hard to incorporate those in the beginning, but daily
mm,
you do them, it becomes super easy and it becomes your new normal. So that
yeah.
was one thing that I had to really shift my life around. And another thing that was really hard for me was just cardio. Like I don't know, man. I hate cardio. I realized that these past few months. like Kieran first assigned me like 20 minutes of cardio, and I was like, this fucking sucks. Like getting my heart rate to 130 to 140 consistently, this sucks ass. And then I didn't realize how good I got it until he bumped me up to like 35 minutes cardio. I was like, oh
That's
my
right.
God, this is ass. And sure enough, the tip you gave me of doing like half your cardio before the training and then the other half after saved my ass. Like
Mm,
mentally, it's just like cardio fried me for some reason,
for
you
sure.
know? Yeah.
Especially on the tail end of a cut, dude. Like that shit will just, because like you already like even just normal walking at the tail of end of a cut, walking normally feels like walking in sand. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
that like, oh my God, just everything feels heavy. And then if you add in if you add in cardio, but then you do all of your training before the cardio, you're like,
Mhm.
oh my Lord.
Dude, yeah, you're dead. You're at the very least you're mentally just fried, you know? And
Mm,
training itself could take anywhere from an hour and 30 minutes to potentially 2 hours, depending if your equipment's available, how busy is your gym. So I'd spend a couple hours doing that. And then I also opted to take on some ab workouts as well, which could take maybe
mm,
15, 20 minutes. And on top of that 35-minute cardio session, there was some weeks where it really, really took its toll on me mentally and
mm,
physically, of course, as well. So it got to be a little much, but those were probably the two hardest aspects, I'd say, in
mm.
terms of the
And
cut
so
and
what
commit.
did you do? So like, because that does sound, I mean, for anyone that's listening that hasn't quite got to that stage yet, they might look at that and think, holy shit, like I don't want to fucking do that. There's no way I want to or can. What did you what did you do or change that allowed you to kind of just like push through it and do it anyways, despite it not being the thing that you wanted to do?
Right. A big part of that was a mental shift. This whole process, it became essentially a second job for me. Like that's how I viewed it. When I'm not
Mm,
actually at my work, this is my job on my days off. Like my fitness goals are first priority. There's
mm,
non-negotiables. I'm hitting my 10K steps. I'm getting my training in. Non-negotiable. Like this is the standard that I set for myself, and there's nothing that's going to stop me from hitting my fitness goals every day. Except those like sickness or injury, of course. But
mm,
so that mentality shift really helped me. It's like I woke up and I'm in my cozy bed. I don't want to get out of bed, dude. I don't want to. I can't be bothered, man. But because this is my expectation, this is my goal, it's non-negotiable. I'm getting my ass up and I'm going for a walk. After that, I'm going to the gym. It's just it's happening whether I want it or not. It's like I'm gonna do it. So that's a mentality shift that really helped me, as well as waking up early, getting ahead of the
mm,
day early. Because when you
mhm,
wake up late, you're already behind on your steps and you're behind on training, depending on what your schedule looks like for the day. So you're just
mm.
behind. So I found that waking up nice and early and just getting ahead of everything, that it made it a lot easier to fit all the stuff in for the day, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, I love what you said about, viewing it as a job. That is absolutely a mentality shift that I made very early on when I first started training. I would I would look at training as work, and this was before I even started, coaching or anything like that. I was like, no,
Mm.
training is work, um, and that helped a lot. It actually did, because I mean, you wouldn't skip work, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
well, you'd hope people don't skip work,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like their obligation. Like you have to do it, otherwise you won't get paid.
Hmm.
Um, I love that. Okay, and so what I want to know as well is like, I guess surrounding all of your results, because your results have been they look so good, dude. I can even we haven't spoken since the very beginning,
Yes.
and your face has changed so much.
Dude, yeah, thank you, bro. Everybody says that, man. People are concerned because they're seeing my sunken in cheeks now and my bone, my facial structure and everything. And people, I've had a lot of like people like, dude, are you okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had a lot of that. It's funny. Are you on the
For real?
Ozempic? I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, I tell you what, so many people now, like we get, uh, asked in the DMs. They're like, "Oh, are these natural results?" And I'm thinking they're talking about steroids, but they're actually talking about Ozempic. And they're like,
Oh,
no, no, no.
jeez.
Like, do your clients use Ozempic? I'm like, no, no, no one uses Ozempic. So that's
Yeah,
still a thing now.
it's
Um,
crazy, man.
but your physique, right? Obviously, your face has made huge changes, but your physique looks phenomenal. And
Thank you, man.
so what I want to know is like, have you had the opportunity to like, you know, fucking get the clothes off and show it off?
Dude, funny enough, I haven't gone like swimming since I got these results, you know. In the very beginning of the cut and commit, I think I swam a couple times and I was just like, yeah, this is cool. But see me in a couple months. Sure enough, I haven't gone swimming and summer's already gone, so I haven't really had time to like show
Oh,
it off
shit.
too much in person, but you know, I posted some physique changes on
Nice.
Instagram and stuff. So a lot of people have seen it and congratulated me. And it's been really nice, man. Funny enough, I find myself like I'm a lot more confident, of course, than what I was when I started this journey. Like before, I could just couldn't really stand to look at myself whenever I had my shirt off. I was just like disappointed every time I would see myself. But now I'm just in a clothing store in the fitting rooms and I'm just like having a photo shoot. Like, oh my God, look at my abs with this awesome lighting. You know, it's just
Yeah,
crazy how different I feel about myself, you know, in a positive way. I wanted abs since I was like 13 years old, you know, and it's weird that I actually have some now, you know, it's a goal that I've wanted for so long, and it's
yeah,
something else to have finally accomplished it, you know.
yeah, dude. You hit it. And so, sorry, do you have a partner?
Yes, yeah, yeah, I have my girlfriend,
And what does
definitely.
she reckon? What
What
does
is
she
she?
reckon about? Yeah, how does she feel about you having abs now?
I'm sure she's all about it. Every time I send her a photo or something, she's just like, yeah, dude. Like you know, like she's over the moon about it.
Yeah.
She's really great though. Like she's always been super supportive on this whole journey,
Mm.
you know, and she's never once really tried to like convince me to quit or to just, babe, let's just go eat. Like who cares? Like she's never once tried to pull me away from my goals. So that I really needed that support, you know?
That's good.
Yeah, it's been really nice having somebody to come to lean on during this whole thing because like as you
Mm.
probably know, like it gets rough towards the end, man. Like your energy's down, you're probably quick to get mad at people, you know, it can get kind of rough towards the very end there, you know, and to have somebody to help you, you know, along the journey, it's been great.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and I think this, I speak for most people that, do have that significant other. Sometimes having a partner can be the thing that makes it difficult, you know. Um, a lot of the times, you know, people that aren't going through the process don't truly understand it. Weighing your food, not being able to go out to eat, like go out to restaurants and do all of the normal things that you would normally do. So, yeah, like if there's one challenge that I hear most frequently, it's like, oh, my girlfriend like really just fucking hates it because we don't get to have quality time or anything like that. So, what did you do in replacement? Like, did you make it up? Did you replace, going out to eat at dinners and stuff like that with something else to, fill in the gaps of that quality time that
Hmm.
you spent?
Yeah, that's a good question because to be honest, before this cut and commit challenge, a lot of our quality time would be, you know, going out to try delicious foods at new
Mm.
restaurants. You know, we love that. So it was kind of an interesting question to figure out what are we gonna do now? Like when we
Yeah.
hang out, what are we gonna do? So sure enough, we ended up just doing other stuff. This stuff. We realized we don't have to go out to eat every time, you know? Like you don't have to
Mm.
do that. You can go like to an arcade or to a
Mm.
bookstore or you know to a event that's going on in town. You know, there's a lot of options you can do where you don't have to solely focus on, you know, food and
Mm.
eating. And anytime we go out, you know, to like a festival or something like that, I'd pack my own lunch with me, my own
Oh, really?
meals. Yeah, so I'd be that goofball with his lunchbox carrying around the whole time. And you know, you get over that. At first, I feel kind of dorky, you know, walking
Mm.
into places with my lunchbox, but you know, that's what it takes, right? That's what it takes have that quality time with your family and your loved ones, but also, you know, continue to work on your goals at the same time.
Hmm,
So yeah,
so true.
I'm glad we were able to adapt to that, to find a way to we can still have plenty of quality time together. It just we don't have to like pig out all the time.
Mm, that's amazing. And so now you're in so you finished your cut phase. I think you're what, 2 weeks finished?
Yes, yes, just about.
And you've been sitting in composition lock-in, sitting back at true caloric maintenance. You've got all of these extra calories. What was the lowest calories that you got down to?
Kieran put me on 1,500 calories. The lowest, I never went any lower than that. Thank the Lord. And right now
How
I'm
did
at
you? Okay,
2K.
you're at what, 2K?
Yeah, 2,000 calories.
Okay, so 2,000 calories, it's still relatively low. And obviously that's going to build over time, especially as we go into phase three. But 1,500 calories, how how did you find that?
Huh. Well, it wasn't fun, I'll tell you that much. It wasn't fun, but I'll say it also wasn't incredibly difficult either.
Hmm.
Because once you find these particular foods or meals that that you can rely on, that are low calorie, high protein, you have a few meals that you just go back to and you default to. Once you
Mm,
find those meals, it's actually not too hard, to cut, 100 calories worth of food out of your diet. So
mm,
with the exception of a couple of days here and there where, the deficit does get to you and you might, you know, go over a little bit, with the exception of those days, it was pretty maintainable, I'd say, at least for, a few weeks to a few months,
yeah,
actually.
for the short term. And what
Yeah.
were those meals? Like, what was your default meal that you like either at the end of the day or at the start of the day that you were like, okay, cool, I can't wait to eat this because I know it's gonna do me well.
Yeah, I'd say I relied heavily on like Greek yogurts and cottage cheese and egg whites, things like that. Like with the Greek yogurt by itself, like 0% tastes like
Mm.
garbage. But if you throw some protein powder and even some sugar-free Jello mix in there, it actually
Ooh.
tastes pretty good. You can go like, chocolatey route, or you can go like more of like a tart, fruity route. Throw some berries in there,
Mm.
and super filling, super high protein, and pretty damn low calorie too. So those
Interesting.
were meals that I would definitely kind of rely on more or less every day throughout the
Interesting.
cut and command. Egg whites are also really good too. You
Yeah.
know, I would just do potatoes, egg whites, spinach, some bell peppers, whatever. Just mix that up into a huge freaking bowl, and there's breakfast.
That's
Things like
awesome.
that.
That's cool. Yeah. No, so I mean, I find that most people fall into that position. Like when, as you get closer and closer to the end, you start gravitating towards the same foods because you've just like found it. As you said, once you found it, you just like default to it because you know it's going to do the job. And
100%.
so now that you're at 2,000 calories, how are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. Like I don't really have those low energy days anymore, or at least I haven't yet. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling more like alive again, I
Mm,
feel I feel more like filled out too with my physique as well.
mm,
Like I still have some abs, of course, but I feel more. I don't know how else to put it other than full. Like my muscles, they just
cool.
look more solid, I guess you can say.
Yeah, more
You know,
dense.
yeah, more dense. I will say though, those cravings are real. Those cravings are real. Like I don't know what it is about being at a little bit higher calories. I find myself wanting to snack more all the time, and even those little snacks, they don't do it for me anymore, man. They don't. Like I can eat a protein bar and some protein chips for a snack, and then literally 15 minutes later, I'm back at zero, and I want a whole breakfast meal
Yeah.
again. So it's like I'm trying to phase out those kind of processed foods like protein bars and
Mm,
protein chips. I'm trying to just focus more on like single ingredient whole foods like
whole
chicken
food.
breast, potatoes,
Yeah.
things like that, because those are actually going to fill me up. Those will get the job done. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at, trying to play around and dial it back in.
I feel you. And you know what? That's a very a typical kind of route that most people go down after they finish their cut phase. They have all of these extra calories, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can fit in like all of this extra stuff that I wasn't able to on 1500 calories or whatever the low calories were. And then that starts to kind of like trigger. It's like, oh, you get
Mm.
a taste for it, and you're like, oh, I want more, I want more. But yeah, so we're 2 weeks in now, into composition lock-in. The cravings still there, or have they subsided now?
They're still there. They're definitely still there. Like I'll find myself wanting some sweet, sugary protein bar or like a savory sandwich
Mm,
at random, mostly towards the night. You know,
yeah.
sometimes in the morning, right when I wake up, my mouth is dry. I want some flavor, you know?
Mm,
So yeah, they're still there, but I'm working on it, and I hope I can keep those cravings to the curb pretty soon.
yeah. Look, they will go away. It's just, and this is why at the, I think I've told most people. I actually told most people that, before they even sign up, that the cut phase is not the hardest part. It's the composition lock-in, and it's because of exactly what you're going through. You spend all this time dieting, restricting yourself, and now you're in a position where you have more calories to play with. But because you were dieting for so long, those cravings start to go wild as your metabolism starts to kind of reboot, in simplistic form.
Yeah.
And this is where people just go, no, I can't do it. I'm just gonna fucking eat whatever I want, and then they regain and regress. So super crucial part, super hard.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can see that. Like a
Yeah,
part of me is already like, dang, I kind of want to cut again. You know, just because like I feel like I'm potentially might be putting on a little bit weight, you know? Like
yeah.
I don't know. So I'm just like
I've had a look at
mentally
your physique. You're looking exceptionally good.
right on. Thanks, brother.
Bit of fluid retention, of course, which is
Yeah.
expected, but that's going to balance itself back out. And you're gonna have these days, especially as you go into the lean build, you're gonna have days where you're like, I feel so fat, and you're not actually. Um, and then you're gonna have days where you like feel dry as fuck, and you're like, holy shit, I'm just like a god. So yeah, it'll
Sweet.
happen. It'll happen.
Oh boy.
Um, so last question, I guess I would like to know is like, going through this process, you were arguably in one of the best GSAs, the one of the most supportive GSAs that we've had. Like everyone in your group is just an absolute legend. Like so nice, everyone's so supportive. Um,
Definitely.
what was your, I guess, most favorite part about the cut and commit? Um,
Mm.
and I'll ask you a question after you've answered that.
My favorite part of this whole process. I'd say it was realizing that I can actually do the process. Like, as weird as that sounds, because the process can get grueling, you know,
Mm,
can get very tough. The fact that, you know, I can actually stick to it for as long as I did and got the results that I wanted, that was probably my favorite process looking back, like kind of looking in hindsight, because I've learned a lot of, like I said earlier, kind of like lifestyle changes and new, healthier habits that I can take with me for the rest of my life.
mm,
And these things are gonna keep me in a great shape for as long as, you know, as long as I'm able to. So I think that's been the most like valuable part of this whole journey. And yeah, just becoming a healthier individual, like fitness wise, conditioning wise.
mm,
I was playing with the kiddos a couple weeks ago, and I was running around chasing them and this and that, and I just had this random like epiphany where I was like, dude, I'm not even breathing hard. I feel fantastic right now, and I'm chasing after the little girls, you know, and it that's a change. You know, before I would get out of breath so fast, and I would be sweating, and I would just feel like, okay, 5 minutes, I'm tapping out. Like, sorry, kids,
mm,
go play. Like, daddy's done. You know what I'm saying? But
mm.
I felt great the other day, and it was just like a shining light of a moment where I'm like, wow, this is like the real benefit to all of this. Aesthetics are awesome. Aesthetics are great. That's why I got in this journey. But, you know, just the long-term health benefits of being at a
Mm.
decent weight and, you know, having good conditioning and things like that, you know, it's going to keep me here longer for the family, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And obviously these, by the sounds of it, these habits and, behaviors that you've picked up along the way are probably you're gonna carry them forward for a very long time. I would actually doubt that you would ever genuinely, and I'm saying this with almost 100% certainty. I don't believe you're ever going to be able to get back where you were. Like you've
Wow. Yeah.
transformed completely, so much internally, externally, that the old Mark, just from what? How many weeks ago? 17 weeks ago?
Yeah. Yeah. Just about 17 weeks ago.
17 weeks ago, that Mark is like in the dust, just gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, the every client that we've had go through the entire process like has been able to make it, because of course not everyone makes it. It is a very challenging journey.
Right.
But you take yourself through the three phases, and the reason why they're set up in the way they are is so that of course we get shredded and are able to lean build. But the most important part to that is like never actually getting back to where we were,
Right.
because yeah, I just
100%.
don't think it'll happen.
I think you're right. Like I can't see myself not going for walks in the morning, or I can't see myself going back to those crazy fast food every meal per day, Like I just can't see myself doing it anymore. Now that I
Mhm.
see the light at the end of the tunnel and I realize exactly what I have to do to get to this great physique, it's like I just can't see myself doing those old things anymore, old habits
I
for
love it.
sure.
So two more statements, and then we'll wrap it up because I know you have to go to work.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking to two different people. The first person that we're talking to are people that are currently in the cut and commit, going through the cut phase, going through the process. And the second person we're talking to are people on the outside looking in, wondering if this is the thing that they should do. So I want to
Hmm.
know, first and foremost, do you have any advice that you would like to give those that are currently in the cut and commit, going through, the trenches?
Just keep on, man. Keep at it, brothers. Like you guys are probably so close anyway. I know a lot of guys in my GSA 10 are just about done with their
Mm,
cuts. Just stay on the grind. I promise you it's worthwhile. And I know it's hard. You're gonna have some days that are better than others. Some days where you feel like complete shit. You want to eat everything in the world. But if you just stick to what you've been doing, I promise you it's just gonna work out. All right. It's not too much longer for you guys. I know it. And for the people that are looking on the outside in, I'd say I'd say give it a shot, because what do you have to lose? You know? Like when I started off, I was looking at the before and afters of previous cut and commit members, and
mm,
to be honest, a lot of their before photos, they look pretty like okay, pretty decent shape, at their starting photos. And I was just looking at myself like fat, round, like squishy. So it was such a daunting goal for me, and I just said, why not? Let me give it the old college try. Let me just give this shot. And hey, look at me now. Yeah,
mm.
like
You're
it
looking
worked out,
good.
dude. Thank you, brother. I say just give it a try, guys. Um, what do you have to lose, really?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mark. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you.
Yeah.
As I've said already so many times in almost every check-in, you and your teammates are killing it. We have three more guys finishing the cut phase as of tomorrow when we do their check-in. So I'm sure they're all
Woo!
super excited as well. So I'm excited to jump on a call with them, just like I have with you, to kind of pick their brains.
Definitely. It's gonna be so cool to hear everybody's journey and how they differentiate from everybody else, or the similarities too, because I know
Yeah.
I hear Mickey's definitely helped me like kind of reflect on my own journey as well. So I'm excited to hear what the rest of the boys have to say for sure. It's gonna be
Mm.
dope, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate everything.
No, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night, and yeah, we'll be speaking really soon.
All right, man. Take care.
See you, bro.
All right, bye.